Hi, guys. Well, almost on time today. How is everybody doing? What's transpiring and creating in your life and what's showing up for you? It's been a really interesting week, hasn't it? Well, I'm very excited. I'm saying that hesitantly because it comes with a lot of baggage, but today is the new moon. If you're listening to this today, November 19th, 2025, today is the new moon and it is in the sign of Scorpio. And I love this energy. A lot of people don't know what to do with this energy and it kind of freaks them out, but I'm a Scorpio moon. And so it's very nature, very much my nature. However, there is something really cool happening in the cosmos today. And I know that this is a money call, and I promise you, I'm going to get to the money aspect of it because it's all connected. There's an aspect today which is called a kazemi, a Mercury kazemi. A kazemi is like a flash of light, and it says that whenever there's a kazemi, it means it's the aspect of the closest to the sun, right? Which means there's like a flash of light, and you get like this divine inspiration. The thing that you have to remember is that this kazemi is in the sign of Mercury, and that Mercury is the planet of communication. Scorpio is the planet of inner transformation, of deep spiritual work, your dark side versus your light side, all those kind of things, your light side versus your dark side, making one not good or bad or the other. It is about finding the gray area because Scorpio doesn't have a gray area. So some of the behaviors that are coming up are maybe you actually seeing the gray area, following the gray area, and allowing the gray area to kind of like be an okay, happy middle. Now, what does the Kazemi bring? It brings clarity. Clarity. And a lot of it'll bring clarity in self-communication, communication with yourself. Remember, Mercury is about communication, Scorpio is about the self. So communication with the self, going in, going deep, being honest with who you are, with what is not working for you, with how you're behaving that is not working for you, looking at how to shift and change those behaviors now. I'm going to be very transparent with all of you. Thank God there's only about a half a dozen of you. um, I started this call, I had this idea for this call about a month and a half ago. And I've really been struggling with my money situation, right? Things are just they haven't been flowing the way that they've been flowing for the last several years. They're just not flowing. They're stuck. A little frustrating, a little annoying. You know how we got here. You know how I, came up with this idea. I realized that it's our relationship to money that makes the difference in how money shows up for you, right? If you love money, if you welcome money, if you are happy with money, then money will want to be with you. If you're afraid of money, if money scares you in any way, shape, or form, whether it's you having money, you not having money, you not knowing what to do with the money that you have, you feeling like you're greedy, selfish, any of those things with money, whatever those money beliefs are, you guys have to understand that's how money responds to you, right? So imagine that your best friend is money. Your best friend is money. And how do you treat your best friend? Well, you're calling them, you're like, hey, are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? Hey, can we have a good girl night? Can we gossip? Yeah. Hey, can I share something with you? I have that vulnerability, but we don't do that, right? Your best friend wants to be with you. Why? Because you are loyal and you are true and you are a good friend and you have something to offer. So if we start treating money that way, then maybe money will want to actually chase us. Maybe money will want to call us and say, hey, Daniel, just checking in on you. Are you okay? No, actually, I'm not. I could use a couple extra grand today. Oh, yeah, no problem. I'll be right over. You may be laughing at me, but you know it's true. Where was I going with all that? Well, my own personal story. So, yeah, so there's just been a lot of like really interesting things popping up. I have a situation in my flat, in my apartment. I haven't been able to use one of my bedrooms for 9 months because of black mold, and I have guarded off the whole thing, so I can't even go in there. I put spider plants in there to absorb the spores and everything. Fine. Now, my landlord is not doing anything about it. They're dilly-dallying about it nonstop. And so I was sick of it. And I am such a non-confrontational person. Do you understand? Non-confrontational. And I was like, I'm sick of it. I want them to pay me. I want them to give me money. I'm done with this. I've been paying a full amount of rent for the last, 2 years. And the last since February, I've not been able to use my bedroom. And my office has now become my bedroom. And so sure enough, because of this workshop, this class, I started to realize that I wasn't honoring my money, right? I wasn't honoring the fact that every time I go pay rent, I just piss it away. No, my money said, hey, you know what? Value me. Value me. And I thought, wow, how much of my money do I just throw away without giving it value and purpose? Now I'm in this situation and I'm pretty sure it's going to work out in my favor, and money wants to come back to me. Money wants to play with me, God willing. It's not done yet. And so I share that with you because, you may have a similar situation going on in your life where it feels like money is not flowing as adequately as you would like it to flow. And I want you to look at the places in your life where you're not valuing money, where you're not really, really seeing money as your best friend. Okay. That was the first week. We're talking about relationships with people. This week, we're talking about relationships with money as energy. I got to thinking about something the other day. Boy, you guys really must think I'm nuts. I was walking down the street and I was like, gravity. You ever thought about gravity? Probably not. I don't often think about gravity. But I'm walking and I'm like, wow, every single step I take, the earth grounds me. How does it ground me? It grounds me with gravity. Never thought about gravity. I don't know where gravity comes from. I don't know how it operates, but I know that it's there. I know that gravity is not going anywhere. As long as I'm on this earth, I'm bound to gravity. I get to be bound by gravity, right? I don't wake up in the morning and go, I wonder what the degree of gravity is that we have today. We don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, God, gravity is really, really holding me back. We don't do that. So gravity is an energy, right? If gravity is energy and money is energy, what would it take for me to have that same point of view about money? Wake up in the morning, yep, there it is. Go through my day, yep, there it is. Not even thinking about it, knowing, trusting, holding on to the point of view, the energy, the knowing that it's always there and that it's working and that it's working for me, right? Just like gravity is working for everyone on this planet, everyone. What if we also knew that about money? What if we knew that money was also looking out for us? How differently would we show up? How differently would our relationship with money be? And so what I got to start doing, I did this morning as I was coming up with this call. I was walking to meet a new friend actually for coffee this morning. And I'm walking, and I live in Amsterdam. It's beautiful here. It's so beautiful. It's picturesque. It's enchanting. It's like being in a fairy tale. Sometimes you're like, wow, it's Amsterdam. It's so beautiful. And today I was like, you know what, Daniel? Watch where you walk. Pay attention. So I watched where I walk, and I had a mindful balance between looking ahead and looking down. And I'm seeing how, it's a very old city, 750 years old, Amsterdam is. So I'm looking at this very old city, and I'm thinking about all of the incredible people that have walked in these same exact steps. And I'm thinking the gravity that has guided and led millions of people on the same exact step that I am taking took them somewhere, led them somewhere, brought them someplace great, maybe even gave them an opportunity to pause, to look at their life and say, wow, look at how cool this city is. So then I started to think, I want to invite this energy in with money. So every single step I took today to meet my friend, I just put one foot in front of the other. And I just kept saying, thank you, money, as if it were gravity. Thank you, money. Thank you, money. Thank you, money. It was so crazy. Thank you, money. Thank you, money. Every step. Thank you, money. 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 There's a reason why I am doing this repetitively. Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is the founder, well, he's the author, he's an incredible scientist. He wrote this book, The Biology of Belief. Dr. Lipton said, last Thursday, I went to hear Dr. Lipton speak, and he said the most beautiful thing. He said, many of us are functioning only from a reactive state. Many of us are functioning only from the subconscious programming that we've taken on up until 7 years of age. Okay? It's in his book, The Biology of Belief. He said most of us are living life reactively, which, those of you who've worked with me, or for those of you who know Theta Healing, this is the basis of Theta Healing too, to find what those subconscious beliefs are. Dr. Lipton also speaks about how the theta brainwave is the most powerful place to change your reality, because all of those limiting beliefs that are held in your subconscious mind, those are those programs that are blocking you. So one of the ways that he says to change it entirely is with repetition. 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 He said there is like a synapse, if you will, or some kind of I guess an energy current that happens with your subconscious mind. That repetition is actually something that will impact, and affect it and change it. Okay? So today, become aware. You might say it's a gratitude exercise, but I want you to attach to the energy of gravity. I want you to start to think of money like gravity. Thank you, gravity. Thank you. Thank you, money. 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 Because then before you know it, it will and it can show up with you and for you like you've never imagined before. Okay, so I have some questions that I want to kind of pop into your awareness today. Okay, so if gravity is a magnetic force, right? A magnet has to have an opposite, right? So if you look at the gravitational force of the earth, it's a magnet, right? And you have to be the opposing energy that brings it together. I don't know if that's true. I'm just making it up in my head. However, it makes common sense to me. So it's like, if you have two that are the same, they repel, but none of us repel gravity, right? So we're attracting something. So something is that. So what would it take for us to also realize that we are the exact polar opposite necessary energy to welcome in, call in, and attract more money into our lives? So that means you also can be a magnet, you also can be a source of gravity. So two magnets with opposing forces are required to make it stick. So imagine that gravity is one force, you are another force. Boom. Nothing is separating that, right? Now, imagine the same way. Money, you, same force, opposite forces attract. Boom, there you go. So the other thing that I want to add to you to become repetitious of is to say, I am a magnet for money and all good things in my life. I am a magnet for money and all good things in my life. Repetition. I am a magnet for money and all good things in my life. I'm a magnet for money and all good things in my life. I am a magnet for money and all good things in my life. That's very, very important. Yeah. So what happens when you go against the flow of gravity? Something crazy, right? Sometimes you fall, sometimes you break something. Think about all the times before there was air travel, when you had all those wonderful, inventive, crazy minds that thought that they could become birds. Remember, I was in Istanbul, I lived in Istanbul for one whole summer. Then again, I went back in the spring, of course, in the middle of the pandemic. And I remember going to the Galata Tower, which is right in the center of the in Istanbul. And at the top of the Galata Tower, there's a wonderful story about this Italian man who built wings because he wanted to jump off the Galata Tower and fly to the other side of the Bosphorus, which is Asia, right? So he was in Europe, he wanted to fly to Asia. So he built these beautiful, beautiful wings and he jumped off the Galata Tower. And he actually did fly for quite some time. But of course, he ended up falling and crashing. Gravity, right? So, yes, we found ways to defy gravity. Thank you, Wicked. We've found ways to defy gravity. We found ways to go into space. We found ways to do air travel. We found really, really, really cool ways with all those things. But I would say that that has taken a great amount of research, hard work, whatever. If you or I were like, yeah, let's go build something and let's go build wings and jump off the roof, we'd probably fall flat on our face, right? Gravity is unforgiving, meaning it's going to win. Okay? It is going to win. What if it was the same way with money? Money is always going to win. Money is an energy. It's always going to be there for you. It's always going to win. Will you stop resisting that and allowing that to instead become a part of your nature? Knowing, yeah. Just as I know, even if I get in an airplane, I have to come down. Just as I know that if I go through a period where I'm not having any money, I know I will, right? Play with that consciousness today a little bit, okay? What if it wasn't about also you having to go after or chase money, just like you don't have to go after or chase gravity, but just to allow it to come to you, right? Some very interesting ponderings today, my dear friends. Fun and exciting, and I appreciate the journey that you've been on with me for so long. It really is quite fun. I hope it's created some change for you. I would love to hear your feedback of something that resonated with you, something that maybe if it was just one little parcel of something that you took with you, that would be amazing. I would love to hear it. Okay. Guys, have a great day, and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow.